Bapak Ibu. We have a lot of speakers today. I believe maybe you feel tired and then bored with our presentation, but hopefully this is you still have a spirit to listen to my speech ya, karena I'm the last speaker ya, so don't worry. So I want to share my active learning class during the computer programming. Jadi this semester Miss Bu Eci come to me and then ask me to implement the active learning in one of my class. So I'm choosing the computer programming to implement this method. So this morning Pak Iwan already shared how he struggled in the computer programming class ya Pak. And also it's very difficult to understand the code. So I hope maybe if you join my class you can learn more about computer programming, much more fun. Okay, so next semester let's share. I invite you Pak to come to my class ya. Okay, next slide please. Oh yeah, so today when Bu Eci come to me and then ask me to do active learning, it's actually additional task and it's a big homework for me to make my class become more interesting. Yeah. So during the workshop, I learned a lot from Bu Eci. So I got 5 points from the active learning. Please correct me if I'm wrong ya Bu Eci. Jadi the active learning itu we need to have the student engagement video listening. Jadi the student need to be more active compared to the lecturer. So the student need to learn by themselves. And then the second one, we need to emphasize on higher order thinking. So higher order thinking, it means that we not only reading the text, but we need to apply, implement, and then creating something. Yeah. And then we need to have collaborative learning. Collaborative learning, it means the student needs to have interaction between them. Yeah. So usually we will do group activity for collaborative learning. And then the fourth one is instructor as the facilitator. It means the lecturer will be more active. We only help them to encourage and learn the topic. And then the last one is we need to create the variety in the class. Yeah? So it means we cannot always use the slide, but we need to put some activities, group discussion, and etc. Okay, next slide. So we already learned about this in the CGTL workshop before. In order to have the active learning, we can see from the Bloom taxonomy. Usually, when we conduct presentation in front of the class, we will do the first and second layer of the Bloom taxonomy, which is it will remembering and understanding. And then if we want to have active learning, it means we need to apply, analyze, evaluate, even create something. Yeah? Jadi we need to have more deeper understanding for the students. And then next slide. Okay, so this is today actually I want to share how I conduct the class. So this is when I have the active learning class, so it means I need to have my student to be active in the class. So I'm inspired by Butika. Thank you Butika for this one. Karena usually when we are in the class and then let's say I ask the student, is there any question? And then keep silent, everyone is silent, no one asking. And then when I'm asking, what is the definition of blah blah blah, only active or maybe fast learner student will always answer my question. So I want to all of my students answering my question. Yeah. So I implement this class rule. Jadi the first one, we will reward the active participation, and then you will also deduct the point for the inactivity. Yeah, jadi usually in the class, I will bring the list of the students in the paper, and then I will see the name in the paper. Let's say I will say, oh, Miss Eci. Let's say Miss Eci, Bu Eci. What is the definition of active learning, Bu Eci? What is the definition of active learning? Bu Eci. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118 2, 3. Oh, time is up. So -1 point for Bu Uci ya. Jadi this Butika teach me ya. Jadi when the student, let's say I have a question and then I want to, let's say, passive student to be active, I will come to the student directly and then ask the definition or maybe the question to him. If he cannot answer, I will minus the score directly. Ya. Jadi I will say, oh -5, and I will write down in my paper. Jadi I hope at least the student try to stick in the class. So this is the role that is important that maybe Bapak Ibu can try to adopt in the class. And then next, please. Next. Okay, and then the next one, we can put the topics. Actually kan we have the Canvas ya. Everyone will use Canvas for uploading the slide. But maybe in this in the class, sometimes I will put my topic and I'm not sharing in the Canvas. I will share later after the class. Jadi I will put the QR code inside the paper I print out. Oh ya, ini cannot be scanned, already inactive, sorry. Tapi when we scan it will going through the link and then going to the topic. Usually it contains video and also sometimes the visual image that mentioning about the topic of my course. Nah, I can print it and then you can put on the wall. Jadi you can ask your student to go around and then scan the QR code and then they will learn by themselves in the group or etc. Jadi at least we encourage the student to have movement inside the class. Gitu. And then the next slide. Okay, and then the next one, because we need to create the group. Nah, this is also the challenge ya. At the beginning ya, when I come to the Sampurna, I usually ask the student, you can create group 5 members. Tapi usually like active person will join with the active person, and then the passive student will join with passive student. So in order to create an active group, so usually I will form the collaborative group with diversity level for peer support. Ya, jadi I have the tools. This is the picker wheel spinner. Yeah, picker wheel spinner is on the website. You can access it from your Google. Jadi let's say you have your student list, and then you can copy paste from your Canvas, and then put the name here. Let's say this is my student, and then I will identify. Let's say I can change ya between A, B, C, D, E until Z ya. Jadi let's say A is the group of students that is very active in the class ya. So I will put A, and then I will put B as the student that is not active in the class. Jadi when I want to create the group, let's say I want to have 5 groups ya. So when you click start here, so this website will generate 5 groups, which is consist of active and passive students ya. Jadi at least inside the group there is the active students and passive students ya. Jadi this website is really helpful for me to create the group that having different level skill of the student ya. Maybe you can use this in the future ya Bapak Ibu. And then the next slide. So this is the video or visual media that usually I use in the class for helping the student study ya. Jadi as Pak Iwan mentioned, it's difficult to understand computer programming ya. So for example, I have looping topic ya. Looping topic that means I will loop the code ya for several time ya. So let's say if I have the robot and I need the robot to go up to the stair ya. So at least let's say it means I need the robot to have left leg up and then forward down, right leg up, forward down, and etc. ya. So we can create something like this to make the student understand ya. Jadi at least by using this video, it will helpful for the student to understand the topic. Okay, so the next slide. Oh, this is the same as the next one. Okay, and then this also important. So we can implement time-based challenge to encourage the student faster learning. Ya. Jadi, and usually during the exam, during the quiz, I always put my stopwatch, sorry. Jadi in the Microsoft you can open the clock and then go to the stopwatch and then put this in front of the class. Yeah, when you have this, when the time is up, there will be an alarm that ringing in the class. Yeah, jadi usually the student will try to learn faster if this timer is provided in front of the class. And also during the exam, usually sometimes I forget to put the timer, tapi the student ask me, "Miss, please put the timer," karena it helps them to know how many minutes that they still have. Yeah. Okay, the next slide. And then for the code, yeah, as we know, this is the code that we created in the programming. Yeah, maybe it's difficult for us to understand from this kind of thing. Yeah, so not only we still keep using this, but there is a tools. Yeah, there is a tools from the MIT America. So it's Scratch, which is we can, let's say, if I have this kind of code, I can using drag and drop tools. Yeah, which is actually the left and the right side is the same, but I'm implementing this one in the drag and drop tools. Yeah, so at least I want my student to understand the logic. When they already know the logic, yeah, even it's difficult to convert it to the text. Tapi nowadays we know that we have the ChatGPT. Yeah, we cannot ignore the advantage of ChatGPT in our daily life. Yeah, so you can use the ChatGPT, but at least I need to my student to understand the logic, how the algorithm works. Yeah, at least the logic they know about it. Okay, the next slide. Okay, so the next will be my students. So please welcome Hugo and Mbun to present their insight about the
Okay, hello everyone, my name is Mbun and this is my friend Hugo. We are from Computer Science, Management Program. Okay, next. Okay, allow me to explain the pros and cons for regular class. But before that, I will explain how our regular class works. Okay, so regular class consists of two types of class. The first one is the material class, where Miss Ariana will explain to us about the material, basically like the building blocks of computer programming so that we can use it later. And the other one is lab session class, usually happen in a Friday, where we have like 2 hours and Miss Ariana provide us with like five or six questions, and we need to solve the problem using the material that we already learned from previous meetings. And usually there will be also a timer, using a timer in front of the class so that we know we can keep on track of how many time left we have in order to finish the assignment. So the class of this regular class is the first is very structured and clear flow. Because Ms. Ariana used PPT to explain to us the materials, so it was very clear. And time efficient delivery, usually very efficient. Like we already have like the timetable, and then we always finish the material in that session. And next, it's easier to cover theory and in-depth because the explanation is very clear and we already have the timetable. It's very sufficient, so yeah, it will be easier to understand the material. And the minus side, the first one is passive participation, because we only watch Ms. Ariana explaining to us. We usually only asking questions in the section that we don't really understand. This, that. And then limited peer interaction, because we don't have like group task or group project in a basic we only have like a problem in the end of in the end of the session, which is in Friday. So yeah, I think it's very limited. Thanks.
So now we're getting into the evaluation of active learning class. So before we get into the pros and cons of the active learning class, let me briefly explain to you what the idea behind the active learning class is. So the idea is for the students to be able to learn more independently. What we did in the class was, first of all, Sarah also invited me to the class so she can monitor our learning process. We were divided into several groups of 3, and we were asked to learn different sorting methods. So each group has its own sorting methods. Within a certain time period, we were also asked to present our final product in front of the class. And I don't think it's a pretty sufficient way to learn, because for me it's really fun looking into the project is something very fun is usually more memorable, and to this day I still have a pretty good understanding of what my sorting algorithm is. Now, to get into the first amount of the active learning class is, first of all, for the first one is high student engagement, followed with collaborative teamwork, direct application of logic, and lastly, fun and memorable experience. I know as for the minus points, which I might argue is also a positive points, because some of these minus points actually help us grow into a better career at the end of the day, such as time management challenges. This could be asked to finish question code within a certain time limit, which I think is also a good thing to practice. Next, we have varying skills of effective group progress. And lastly, we have technical glitches to access cache loading and linear connection.
So this is the comparison between regular class and active learning class. In regular class, we have it's good for concept building, and but it needs more interaction. And for active learning class, it's exciting, practical, and promotes critical thinking, but it needs better preparation to avoid downtime, for example, like technical glitches.
Now, for the conclusion, combine regular class with some active learning activities. Among the 14 weeks to create a dynamic teaching variation. I think it's really important to incorporate different styles of learning, because if it's too constant, it might take you listening. I think active learning activity is really fun, and it's something really memorable, and this feels good for this year. Thank you.
Maybe from the HRD? Yeah, well, of course, so as we know, our LG computer market, we don't have the middle line. Yeah, so at the beginning, not the beginning, like last year maybe, I'm complaining that it's very hard for us, for the lecturer, if we want to see the computer directly to the student in the middle. So I'm asking them, is it possible to create this kind of way in the middle of the class? So now they already implemented it, so thank you very much because of Bu Eci, then we can have the middle line to interact with the student. So it's very helpful, Pak. Thank you, Pak.
Testimonial. I was actually very surprised with Ibu Ariana's class. Yeah, I thought that it will be very difficult to implement active learning in the computer lab. But then I really surprised, as I said earlier, she was very prepared for the lesson. She distributed the rubric, the worksheet, everything. All the materials are ready, available in the first minute, 5 minutes, right? And then the group sitting arrangement also very clear, yeah. So it helped a lot for the instruction, Ibu Ariana to do monitoring, right? So yeah, it was very pleasure to observe your class. So this is so much improvement, Pak, from the last session that we have. I mean the last semester, maybe the last 2 semester. So good job, Ibu Ariana. Thank you so much for do this effort together with CTL. Maybe I want also to hear from you the testimonial about the LI.
Okay. Okay, so for Bu Eci and CTL, yeah, first of all, I would like to thank to give me the opportunity to implement the active learning in the class. So it pushed me, it pushed me and encouraged me to find out how to make my class become more active, more interesting in the class. Yeah. So also by using this method, it's also helpful for me karena the students being more active. Yeah. So I don't need to explain everything in the class. I only provide the QR code and then the students study by themselves and then they do the worksheet that I give to them. Yeah. So it's very easy for me to teach them by using the media. Jadi it's very useful for us if we prepare the media, and then in the class we only help them to understand. If someone asking, we can help them to implement it, etc. Jadi very helpful. Thank you CTL for always improving the skill of the lecturer in the Sampurna University.